Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Coach Bill with Fat Loss Made Easy. Hope you guys are having a great hump day today, a great Wednesday. Today's topic is intimidation when doing a 42-hour fast and then exercising. I kind of did a little video about this, I think, a couple days ago, but it seems like a lot of people are freaking out when they find out that I'm doing interval strength training while I'm in a 42-hour fast. So today, I actually finished up a 42-hour fast. I actually worked out. I worked out at 41 hours into my fast, so I was probably around 43 hours, maybe 44 hours is when I broke my fast. My workout today was shoulders. I felt great. Matter of fact, my shoulder presses, I felt stronger, plenty of energy, and no issues as far as weakness. My recovery is always good. As soon as both of us walk out of the gym, we're fully recovered. But the issue is people are seem to be intimidated by doing fasting, and then they're really intimidated when they're told that they need to fast or exercise in a fasted state. And it's all because who's ever telling them that you shouldn't do that because your blood sugar is going to drop in it. If your body isn't acclimated or isn't fat adapted or ketone adapted, then most likely that could happen, and that's why people fail, and that's why they don't work out at a fasted state. Now, a lot of people actually do work out in a fasted state, but they just don't pay attention to it. A lot of people don't eat breakfast and they go to the gym first and then they work out. The only difference between them and me is my fastings are a little longer, and I fast mostly every day, even though I do a non-fasting day, which I don't count calories, but I also don't restrict calories on my non-fasting days. But I'm still doing some kind of fasting, and so you could say that I fast every day. So those health professionals and those personal trainers out there that are debunking fasting every day, most likely you're fasting every day and you don't even know it because you're obviously not eating while you're sleeping. So the thing is, you don't have to be afraid or intimidated by if you're fasting not to work out, because you're actually stimulating hormones that are actually going to be activated, and you're going to increase your growth hormones and your muscle building hormones as well. And this is all according to science. Another benefit to fasting, exercising in a fasted state, is those of us of age. There's actually research that is showing that those of us of age or seniors, when we exercise in a fasted state. Now this was done. Let's see, which one is it here? This one was done in the National Library of Medicine, and there was a case study that showed that when aged men and women were fasting and they exercised, they did some kind of strength training, not cardio or running. It has to be some kind of strength training. When they did some kind of strength training, it elevated their growth hormones and their muscle building hormones and testosterone levels. So that was in the National Library of Medicine. And so that right there, it explains how the benefits are when you're fasting and you're exercising. So I don't understand why more and more trainers aren't educating their clients and letting them know that, by putting yourself in a certain environment of fasting, you're going to elevate your growth hormones, and there's the improvement you're going to get not only in strength, but in adding lean muscle. And for seniors especially, by elevating our growth hormones and our muscle building hormones naturally, not synthetically, but naturally, that's going to help us to slow premature aging down as well. So there is enough science out there. There's actually enough, there's actually a lot of doctors out there that are now promoting intermittent fasting and incorporating it with a high fat, high good dietary fat, low carb meals. The problem is I'm seeing also is people are being told how to do this, but they're not being told the right protocols. And that's why some of them, I just had one today tell me that they've tried this in the past and it didn't work for them. Well, honestly, if you're doing it right, you have the right plan, you have the right tools, and you're being guided through it step by step. See, guys, you just cannot jump into fasting over 18 hours, 20 hours, 24, 42 hours. You just can't jump into it because your body is not acclimated to burning fat. Now, some of you that follow me know what I'm talking about. Most of you have been eating high starchy carbs, ultra processed high starchy carbs for decades. Then you figure the weight gain is getting out of hand. And so you figure enough is enough. I've read a lot about this intermittent fasting. I've read a lot about this high fat, low carb meals. I'm going to Google it and I'm going to learn how to do it. Well, most of you are going to get confused and frustrated because you're going to see so many different protocols out there. And it's really not that difficult to do it if you understand the root cause to what's causing with whatever weight gain issues you're having. And obviously, you've heard me talk about this 100 times, it's hormones. But you have to understand how the physiology of the body works and the biochemistry of the body at the cellular level, and how food is the driver to doing a successful fasting protocol and to be able to lose that belly fat or body fat. Food is the driving factor. The problem is that most of you who are just starting out, your bodies aren't adapted yet. You cannot jump into a fast without first teaching your body to burn fat. Because if you look at how fasting is set up, that means there's no calories. You're not going to eat any calories for a certain amount of time. Okay? Now, if you've been eating carbs most of your life, well, then your body is depending on those carbs as energy. Well, you have a lot of stored energy in your fat cells. I like to call them food, a lot of stored food there. But because the body will go after the easiest energy source, which is carbohydrates, you've never dipped into your own stored body fat and used that fuel up as energy. So all of a sudden you do a 20-hour fast and you've depleted all the carbs because you haven't eaten anything for 20 hours. Your body is going to freak out and say, hey, wait a minute, there's no more carbohydrates or no more glucose or sugar for me to draw energy from to operate. I'm just going to shut myself down because it has not learned how to switch over to your own stored fat. And that's the issue I'm seeing with somebody who's just starting out. Because actually, guys, if you're doing it right, it's almost impossible not to get the benefits out of it unless you quit too soon. It's almost impossible. If you're doing it right and doing it step by step, there are processes involved. That's why you really shouldn't try it by yourself. You should get the guidance of someone who is experienced in it and it's actually doing it themselves and it's their lifestyle. That's why Emily and I put together our online personal training coaching website that should be launched this week. But we have different packages and courses to for people with different budgets. But these courses and packages gives you all the training books and training videos and all the tools you need to actually to switch your body to burning fat. And instead of being a carb burner, sugar burner, you're going to turn your body into being a fat burner, and you're going to be fat adapted. So by you fasting in a or exercising in a fasted state, then the more the calories that I need to exercise to keep my energy level up to be able to complete my exercising, I'm getting all that energy out of my own stored fat that I have. And because of my body being so rooted in fat adaptation, it has no problem. And that's why I don't have blood glucose or hyperglycemia, or I don't pass out, because my body has a natural mechanism that will act. It's known as gluconeogenesis, and it's a safety valve. So when you have no more carbohydrate or sugar, and all you have is you're burning fat, there's a mechanism that your body will take the excess proteins that are floating around, or all the excess damaged cells that are floating around, and then it'll also take the fat, the fat you have in those fat cells, and it will actually convert it into glucose and then store it as glycogen to be used as energy so you can keep exercising. See, that's how it all works. But, and it's a big but, you can't just jump into doing it on your own and expect to uh, get the results you're looking for. You got to go through certain small steps, and that's what we teach our clients so that they will not go through the issues of having hunger waves, or causing certain hormones to be activated that actually cause appetite, or actually cause cravings of sweets and carbohydrate. That's the other key, is the type of food you're eating and how often you eat is also going to control certain hormones. It's going to help um, depress the hormone that's known to store fat, and it's going to help elevate the hormones that are known to depress cravings or cravings for carbohydrates, but it's also going to activate your growth hormones and your muscle building hormones. So there's a lot of science behind fasting and intermittent fasting that actually helps to activate muscle stem cells. Here's one here that Science Daily has intermittent and prolonged fasting helps fast track stem cell activation. That's a case study where they used human beings. Nature's Medicine. The central role of muscle stem cells is regenerated through fastings. National Library of Medicine. Growth hormones in healthy age women and men are elevated, and they did a test which they call it a randomized controlled trial, and this is one of the top scientific cases where they're using human beings in a trial, men and women, seniors are using, and they did a test on actually 4 groups here. So in the description section of this video, guys, which I will post it on YouTube, I put a doctor in there, a video of a doctor doing a seminar for other doctors, and he is specifically talking about the scientific benefits and views of doing fasting, and how as health professionals we need to promote fasting and this way of lifestyle, which is what our ancestors did, so this is nothing new, and promote it to get the issues that are happening today with type 2 diabetes in the young and old, obesity, fatty liver disease, dementia. I mean, they've got a lot of good research where it's showing that intermittent fasting, along with the high fat, low carb meals, is actually helping a lot of different disease models. There's even doctors out there right now that are treating their cancer patients. One out of Boston College, Thomas Seifield, and with his brain tumor cancer patients, he's using the both of these programs to starve cancer cells and getting some great results. And now he's showing other doctors. He's actually got X-ray pictures of his brain tumors that he's working with and how they're shrinking, because he's found that cancer cannot live off fat. So he's starving them. So there's a lot of good science out there, guys. So don't be intimidated uh, when you're to exercise in a fasted state, but prepare the body for it. Don't just jump into it. It could take 2 to 3 weeks of being on a high fat, low carb meal plan consistently and right before your body is actually becoming fat adapted. Um, we always have our clients, we monitor their blood glucose levels and their blood ketone levels. That's how we know that they're actually in fat adaptation and they're actually in what science calls ketosis. I don't see how any other, I mean, if you're not monitoring what you're eating by doing the GKI index, I don't see how you're going to even know that you're even in fat burning, or if you even know that the food you're eating, see, because the same kind of food that I'm eating may not work for you. So that's what the GKI index does. Keeps you accountable, and it also tells you that you're eating the right foods to keep you in a certain ratio, which is fat burning, and that's what we want. We want to switch our body over to be a fat burner and not a sugar burner. And we need to know specifically at different times, is that even happening? And that also is going to tell us about our growth hormones also. And so, like I said, guys, we have courses and packages on our online personal coaching. My website hopefully will be up by the end of the week, but until then, if you want to know more about our courses and packages, then let me know. Send me your email at bill@billmabrycoaching.com, and I'll send you all the courses and packages, and you can take a look at them, and whichever one fits your budget, then that's the one you can purchase. Okay? Guys, have a great day. We'll see you at the next video. Bye.